Tommy, can you afford a Bentley Bentayga?
No, I cannot, but I also cannot afford a GV80. However, a lot more folks can because this is less than half the price of a Bentley Bentayga, and I would say it's probably close to 90% as much car. That's how good this new GV80 is.
Yeah, we're looking at about $81,000 MSRP on this, and if you wanted to get a Bentayga, it would start over $200,000, but it really doesn't compete with the Bentayga in terms of its, well, where it lives in the world of premium cars. It competes with cars more like the BMW X5.
Yep, the Mercedes GLE, the Audi, there's a Lexus in there as well. So this is like that mid-size premium crossover segment. And I think that the Genesis has a bunch of features that really elevate it above some of its competition. And certainly the vibe of this vehicle is much more closely in line with the Bentayga. I say that as the man is about to start weed whacking right through our shop.
All right, well, let's talk about the car. There certainly is a lot of chrome, and let's talk about the redesign of this because this is a refresh.
Yeah, so we got slightly new grille treatments. We have a brand new badge up here on the front. New wheel designs. Dad, what's the size?
I'm guessing it's a 22.
22s, you're exactly on the money. And this really cool two-tone look as well. So we've got this gray on the silver with big old brakes back there. What's really cool about this vehicle is this headlight streak. These kind of parallel lines start at the headlight, continue down the repeaters, and then finish out back at the tail lights. It's a very cohesive design. There is a coupe variant of the GV80 coming. This one's a conventional SUV. It still looks sporty. It still looks elegant. It's just so great.
Yeah, all-wheel drive, and of course under the hood is a 3.5 liter turbo, or dare I say twin turbo, that puts out, what, 375 horsepower. Does that sound familiar to you, Tommy? Wasn't that the motor that was in the old Stinger GT?
You know, I think it's a little bit different, Dad. Still a twin turbo V6. Now, if you don't want to spend $81,000, there is a base engine available, which will bring the price down substantially. That's a 2.5 liter four-cylinder turbo with 300 horsepower. But this twin turbo V6, 375 good power. One thing, Dad, which I do think is a little bit of a miss, there is no hybrid or plug-in hybrid variant. So like that X5, right, you can get a plug-in hybrid. The Mercedes has a great plug-in hybrid. That is something that would really add to the bandwidth of this car.
How many gears?
It's 8-speed automatic transmission through an all-wheel drive system. Yeah, it's a pretty cool setup.
You know, what makes Genesis so unique is that, like the Japanese before them, the Koreans are now moving upscale by providing just a lot of leather, a lot of real quality metals inside the car, and a lot of features that you would get in a $200,000 Bentayga.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's amazing that the assembly of this vehicle, right? The panel fitment, the material selection, and the color palettes are so above what this price point is. Even though it is a very expensive vehicle, it still is pretty good value.
Well, shall I see if I fit in the rear seat?
Yeah, hop on in there,
right,
Dad.
Let me see if I fit, because this is, you know, a pretty good sized car. So what I like immediately is look at the controls. You've got electric controls for the back seat and not just the front seat. So I can scoot it forward, I can scoot it backward. I have my very own rear sunroof, and of course my very own little mirror here with an illuminated light should I need to do some makeup, which I don't need to do. But the seats are very comfortable, they recline. Look how far they recline, oh my God. This is almost too much. And then I've got full HVAC controls back here, including heated and chilled seats in the rear. And this is what I was talking about when I said that the Koreans just give you a lot of features that you wouldn't expect at this price point, including, look at this, a little beautifully designed hook so that when you have a coat on, it doesn't get all crumpled when you throw it in the back. What do you think of this, Tommy? I love this thing.
It's
Interior
beautiful,
feels
yeah.
so special. I mean, look at this diamond stitching on the seat. I love the chocolate colored leather. If you guys could smell this, it smells exquisite, and I'm a big fan of, you know, the smell of leather. It just feels very expensive in here.
They did a great job, Dad, and it's like they really sweated the details. Like, check this out, Cole. The little seat folding mechanism has this knurled finish around it, right? That's something that most people will never look at or notice, but that's what elevates it to like that Bentley level of quality.
You want to show them the front?
Yeah.
I'll jump out here. Actually, I'll stay in here. I'll let the videographer jump in the front.
Yeah, sure.
With you.
So the big changes in the inside of the GV80, we got this new steering wheel. So that weird kind of pillow steering wheel that they used to have is no more. Now to a more conventional 3-spoke. Looks great. Lots of functionality. ADAS functionality, lane centering, adaptive cruise control. Lots of quality in this steering wheel area. And then we have a 27-inch continuous screen. So we used to have 2 subdivided screens here for the instrument cluster and the main screen, but now it's all in one. I think personally it looks really good. It's pretty fast, easy to use. Apple CarPlay. Have you heard of this mood curator, Dad?
No, what's a mood curator?
Here, I'll show you. What
Sorry.
are you doing up there?
I'm just opening up the sunroof to get some more light in here.
Check this out. There's one that I like. This is my favorite. So I'm going to hit start. What it's going to do is create a scent in here. Play music.
Yeah, don't play music. We're going to get it.
Oh, it's okay. I think it might be royalty free. And then look, it gives you this beautiful, almost painting-like image of these balloons just floating through a mountain sky. So you get the smell of the Alps, you get the experience of serenity. That's kind of a fun little feature.
You know, if this were really the Alps, the real smell you'd get is cow manure.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
Luckily,
true.
they don't do that. And then check this out. So screen down here for a lot of our climate stuff here. Temperature controls, heated, ventilated seats, but we still have physical volume and 2 knobs. And I love this.
What's that made out of?
Do you see this? This is actually a recycled newspaper or magazine. So what they do is they basically take many discarded newspapers and magazines, and then they process it into a durable, long-lasting finish that's entirely unique. So you can actually, if you look really closely, you can see the occasional piece of text or color or font, and that's because it has that really interesting finish in here.
I think I can read something.
What can you read there, Dad?
It says, buy a GV80. See, I could read that.
There you go. No, but
I
it's
think it was an ad for a GV80.
totally unique to the vehicle, which is quite cool.
You know, the last time I saw that was in the Cybertruck prototype when I got to ride in that.
Yeah, they had that paper, right?
They had that like compressed paper, which to me felt just like, you know, a real slab of cement, but it was compressed paper. It was pretty cool.
So here we've got the sticker, so you can see this is the Prestige all-wheel drive. The only added feature is Sevilla Silver for $650, bringing the total MSRP to $81,300, which is a lot of money, but once again, like X5 and GLE can go well over $81,000.
Oh, no doubt.
And then we'd see our sticker here, fuel economy, not the high point of this vehicle, only 19 mpg combined, 16 cities, so it is a thirsty vehicle.
Like you said, there's no hybrid or plug-in hybrid, unfortunately.
Right. Well, should we take this thing for a spin, Dan?
let's swap. Let me jump in the front. Cole, why don't you jump back here and we'll go for a ride. Move the seat forward a little bit to give Cole some room.
That. So one thing which I don't love about the GV80, you really, from a driver standpoint, you sit on top of the car. So the seating position's a little odd to me.
Yeah.
It does give you quite a nice view, but it also means that this header bar is a little too close if you're over 6 feet tall. I'd like to be able to lower the seat a little bit. Now, I'd like this experience in an off-roader, like a Bronco or a Defender or something, where you have a really tall roof, but this does make it feel a little bit more claustrophobic. Our gear selector is, just like the Volvo we were in, Dad, a crystal selector.
Yeah, this one's a little bit less crystal-y. There is a little bit of metal in it. And should we pick a drive mode?
Sure.
I put in sport for you because we're going to do a little bit of acceleration. We've got eco, comfort, and a personalized mode called My.
And a snow mode.
And a snow mode.
All right, so we're going to do a quick launch here, see what this twin-turbo 8-speed auto setup does. We're in sport mode, so I'm going to come to a stop. Are you ready?
Yeah, let her rip.
Give it a little bit of a brake torque here, build the RPM. Pretty good launch, pretty progressive, not a ton of lag, not a super rev-happy engine. I mean, it only on an auto mode shifts about 6,200 RPM, which is below the 6,500 RPM red line, but lots of available power.
You know, it felt very linear. So, you know, the shifts were smooth, and I just felt it was very electric car-like, where there was just this wave of power that propelled you forward. I actually liked it. The one thing I don't like is the controls and the colors in the controls. They seem almost too
Oh, you mean
muted.
like the color palette?
Yeah, it just seems like, you know, I would love to see more primary colors. And you can change them based on the mode and, of course, the mood. But they just become like very muted. It's the best way to put it, right? There's no color in there except this like white. I feel like I'm driving in a snow-covered landscape where obviously it's in the middle of summer and I'm not.
So the refinement in here is top notch. This is really what brings that Bentayga theme back into play, right? Super serene cabin, free of squeaks and rattles. You get very little intrusion, very little sound from the fan, even from the HVAC system, right? It's just a very refined experience. The one area which is not Bentley-like is the ride quality. So it's pretty floaty, which is great. I love a floaty ride.
Once again, you put 22s on a car, you've got so little sidewall.
Right.
No matter how much suspension magic you can put into the car, the very first part that touches the road is not going to be enough rubber.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of this jitter over these small cracks in the road. You see that?
Yeah, I feel it.
Not premium. Before you even get to some of that suspension dampening, you just get this little like bloop, this little shake, which is not as premium as I'd like it to be. And then look, it's not as fun to drive as an X5. Certainly not some of the M variants or a GLE in the M variant, right? It's not as buttoned down, but I just don't care. Because if I'm buying a 6,000 pound SUV, I don't really care what it does in the corners as much. I just want it to take me and my family to the dinner and to school as comfortably and quietly as possible, and it does a good job at that.
Or if you're in a Genesis commercial, the Opera.
Yes, the Opera, exactly.
How's the heads-up display?
Good.
Yeah?
It shows me some ADAS functionality, which is really good.
Yeah.
We got my speed limit up there. We got Apple CarPlay. We got a great Bang & Olufsen sound system as well. I believe that they changed audio providers, if I remember correctly, over the older system in the Genesis. I could be wrong about that.
Now, is this button what I think it is? Is this like a little fingerprint reader?
Yeah, very good. So that's like if you have a user profile, you can hop in, maybe you and your wife has a different profile. You can scan your finger. It'll load up all your settings, ready to go for you.
So it'll put in your favorite
Which is pretty
stations.
cool. You can also use
program your seats.
Yeah, exactly. Phone is key functionality in the GV80 as well.
And I do like the fact that we have real vent controls here that go left, right, and up and down as opposed to them being in the screen. I'm really getting tired of that. And I love the fact that, even though this is HVAC that is based on, a screen, it's always displayed. And we have a real volume knob and a real tune knob, and then, of course, real knobs for adjusting the temperature. Thank you, Genesis. So happy that you didn't put everything on the screen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, should we close this puppy up then?
Yeah, do we want to show them the back, how much room there is?
Yeah, for sure.
We haven't done that yet.
Check out the trunk.
Yeah, let's show you how much room we got.
Soft closed doors, too.
Oh, that is, I love soft close doors. Look at this, watch. There it goes, it just closed. Look at that. Now that is luxury, Tommy.
All right, pop and open that power lift gate.
Show them the key too, it's kind of funky.
Yeah, right, you get this kind of quilted key.
Like the seats.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah, lots of trunk space back here. Good overall space. You also have power folding.
Of course.
Second row seats, which is really good. Let's see if we've got that spare tire check. And no, we don't. But
Space saver.
What's under here?
Blow up little.
Yeah, I think that's probably where your tire inflation kit goes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
And then I think we even have underneath here quite a bit of additional storage. You see that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of storage.
Yeah, so you get some good functionality. So good overall, Dad.
And then lay flat, which is nice.
Yeah, full flat seats.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is at the top of my list if I was looking for this premium category.
You know, it's funny. Notice that there are no even cutouts or suggestions of having tailpipes, right? They've hidden them because they're trying to camouflage the fact that it doesn't have a battery and that it has an engine.
Exactly right.
Which is weird because I would have no problem with seeing exhaust pipes on this car.
Got your little baby tail lights back there, or reverse lights. But overall, folks, I mean, this is a home run. Yes, it is still $81,000, which is a lot of money, but for this class, it's not out of the ordinary, and it's just a fantastic vehicle.
You know what I can do? I can do the home run like I'm hitting it, but if it was really hitting it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I have the swing down.
I don't believe that at all.
No, not for real, just for like that's how you do it.
Okay.
Right?
Well, folks, let us know what you think of the GV80 in the comments below.
And then if you like my t-shirt, I Conquer the Icon, we've got a bunch of new t-shirts that we've put on our store, which is TFLstuff.com. And so if you want something fun to wear, including some fun stuff like my other truck is a truck.
Yep.
My other Genesis is a Genesis.
Yeah, right. Head over to TFLstuff.com.
All right, and of course, head on over to alltfl.com if you want to see more. What, Tommy?
Real world reviews.
See you guys next time. Ciao.